On the Facebook, I found me. Man, you know what I got to do? I got to go get me some damn clothes. I ain't got near enough clothes. I'm in there and I'm looking around.
Everything's too big.
Well, everything just looks old in there. Man, I need to buy me some new clothes. Who's got me up so loud in there? Good Tuesday morning, Josh. I like the commitment I'm seeing from you in the gym. Tell everybody what time you got there this morning. 5 o'clock. You sound tired.
No.
Who thinks Josh has energy and enthusiasm? Oh, where were you?
It's oozing out of him.
I'm just concentrating right now on a bunch of different things.
Well, let me ask you this. Why did you make the decision to start going in there so early? Because that's an early time. Why are you doing that?
Because I know if I don't take it serious, I'm not going to see improvement.
Could you take it serious at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock?
I mean, yeah, but it just doesn't mean as much.
What does that matter? How does it not mean as
I get out
much?
of bed at 4:30. I don't want to get out of bed. If I were to get out of bed at 5:30, I mean, it's just not a big. It's not a big. It's harder to get out of bed at 4:30 than it is 5:30 for me. I feel like if I can do that, then I can go to the gym.
So it's a confidence booster for you. Well, good job. Noah's been on me about this book. Hey, I put it in my bag last night. He even asked me again this morning. Hey, bring that book. I like that. You know I like that? Huh?
Awareness.
Well, a lot of people, I like the pushiness. See, my wife ain't good on the pushy thing. Y'all saw that yesterday. She gets real offended. Real offended when people, does it bother you when people are pushy?
No.
Does it bother you to be pushy? Bless you.
Thank you. No.
How about you?
No.
Get that hat off. Did you take a shower this morning?
I did.
Hayden got up early this morning himself, took the Weathers to the airport.
3:30 wake up time.
3:30, and he played basketball. So let's get started. First off, let's wish Joey Richardson happy birthday. Joe Rich, our very own. Go ahead and tag him, Josh. Say happy birthday. So today I'm going to talk about something, and I told Van to just title this message, Talking Possibilities. And if you're younger, let's say we got a lot of people here young. We got a lot of people under 25 years old. And I think when you're under 25 years old, you don't understand yet what I'm going to tell you because there's still a lot of hope and potential and belief in your soul. Some of you, Josh, you may still believe that you can go be a Major League Baseball pitcher. I don't even know if you've given up on that dream yet.
No, I'm still
Are you still? Is that really what you're trying to do? Whenever you were a kid, how many of you were going to be in the NBA or the NFL?
I knew it. I was already there.
As you get older, and a lot of bad shit happens to you, you start to believe in the bad possibilities. I'm going to give you some examples. And I'm not saying this is the way it should be, but this is just what happens to people. How many of you, Van, you're 57, right?
Something like that.
Do you think you could ever become worth $100 million?
Yes.
Do you?
Yes.
By winning the lottery, or do you really believe that it's possible?
I believe it's possible.
Did you believe that 6 months ago?
Nah, not really.
So in 6 months, you've completely changed your mind.
Yes.
Do you really believe this? I'm not trick questioning you. I'm just,
I know.
do you think, hey, here's the question. Van, and I want you to be honest. Do you believe there's a better chance for you to make $100 million or to get cancer?
Probably get cancer.
That's how we start to believe. I'm serious about whenever you're around people, and I heard some very unfortunate news about a friend of mine just the last couple of days. And we start to believe that we're more unlikely to go through something very bad as we get older as opposed to something that's great. Do you believe what I'm saying, Van?
Yeah, I do.
How do you overcome that? When you're younger, you're not thinking like that. Like right now, Drew's got this little kid. How old is it? You got a little kid. Who in here's got a little kid? You got a little kid. Well, when these babies grow up to be about 5 or 6 or 7 years old, they really think anything's possible. I want this. 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 and they'll become tenacious. Think about how kids are. The world has not warped their belief. They think anything is possible. When you get older, what happens? See, the belief is kind of like the predictor of what eventually is going to happen to you. The way you're thinking. That's like how this thing plays out. And once I think this number's about 25 is whenever we start to see, well, this ain't as easy as I was saying it was going to be. Gets a little bit harder. 25 is that number. That's why I say up until the time you're 25, I can start to influence you with information. I can still feed into your hope. Once you're over 25, I'm going to have to find pain to help motivate you. That's the way people are going to be motivated, is by their potential or by the pain. So I felt my pain at 35 years old. Had to move in with mama and them. And that was the only thing that could get my attention. At 26, 27 years old, I probably still had what we'll call false hope. Thinking maybe I can just get lucky, but at the time I didn't even think it would require me getting lucky. Maybe it's still just going to happen for me. Maybe that new age is 30. You know, as we're getting older as a world, as a civilization, we're kind of staying a kid longer. We're younger. Most people their life does not start working for them until they're 30. Back Van, your father's age, they were probably becoming a man at what age?
Probably a little younger.
Like what number?
I mean, 18, 18, 19.
See, I think 17, 18 is now 30. Would you agree with that, Van?
Yeah, I would, yeah.
So people, it's taken them longer to get into their dreams than it used to. Most people back in those days probably were married at 18, 19, 20 years old, had a family. They were already moving on. They were into their career. Then college came into play, and that's extended is it adolescence the right word, Josh?
Yep.
It's extended that. How old are you going to be when you graduate, Josh?
35.
28, I think.
Well, I graduated, and I was on a decent plan. I graduated college at 24. Took me 5.5 years to get through college. But hey, I just felt like, hey, I'm just doing my thing.
Enjoyed it.
I was enjoying it. Why rush? But now I would tell people you don't need to go to college. There's no need. I would tell you this, to get skilled, to develop yourself, to do things that enhances what you know. College doesn't really do that, because college is teaching you something back in the old days that probably doesn't apply or doesn't even work the same as it does. Like what did I tell you to do today, Josh? I told you and Noah to do what?
Read 10 pages of a book every day.
Why should you do that?
Helps you speak better.
Helps you
Brain
learn
muscle.
better. Helps you
Good word.
retain better.
Yeah.
It grows your brain. It's a little muscle. How many of you in here reading something? Hey, we're talking about possibilities, and to make things possible, what you're going to have to do is you're going to believe they're even a possibility. Most people my age, let's say 40 years old, most people, maybe even 30, 35, most people are going to believe what has happened up into that point is what's going to happen the rest of their life. They get negative. How many of you are around negative people? How do you feel when you're around negative people?
I don't like it.
Why do you not like it? Did you used to be a negative person? You never were?
I've always been optimistic.
Okay.
But now I'm noticing like it drives me crazier than ever right now, because I've seen the power of it.
Well, are you, like whenever today we're talking about a target you didn't hit yesterday. What did you just eat before that?
My breakfast bowl.
And now you're going with a pickle? Why do you think I talk about these targets?
Because if you can't hit a small target, you won't be able to hit a big target.
So the reason why I'm talking about this is not just to bitch at you, but I'm trying to get inside your head to understand these agreements that you have with yourself. You ever heard of it? Like, have you ever talked to somebody and they're in a bad relationship and they just keep going back? You ever been around? You ever seen those people? I mean, it's like a terrible relationship, but they keep going back to that person.
He loves me.
I was one of those people.
Okay, well, I want you to think about this and then answer, Van. What kind of agreement did you have with yourself when you were that person?
When things sucked and nothing was ever gonna be better and it was all negative.
Can't
But
live without-
how did you really feel about yourself, though?
Oh, that was the whole problem.
That's exactly right. See, we've got these little agreements. I'm not worthy. This is what I deserve. I can't do better. Can't do anything about this. So I want you to understand how powerful agreements are that you have based off what you decide you're going to do or not going to do. I'm going to talk to 15 people today. You made up the number, by the way.
I did.
You wanted to come in and you wanted to win yesterday, and you said, I'm going to talk to 15 people. And we watched that number. And at the end of the day, you decided to go home with 9. Well, I'm not complaining about that you only talked to 9 people. I'm complaining about the fact that now you're developing a belief in yourself that it's okay to walk away from hitting targets. And it's not going to affect me, it's going to affect you. Because the way you do one thing is the way you're going to do other things. Walking away from a target you didn't hit in work will transfer into other areas of your life where you don't hit that target. One day you want to be married. You want to probably have kids. You want to do those things. So whatever you're paying, the way you do this is the way you're going to do other things, because everything good requires work. There's no way just to have good things without just working for them. Has it ever happened to you in the past?
I got lucky here or there, but no.
What'd you get lucky doing, Josh?
Hell, I don't know. I'm just like throwing it out like.
Well, just tell me something, anybody. Hey, I this was really good, but I put no work. I put no effort. It just happened for me.
Some talented singers. I don't know who have gifted
I'm talking about
voices.
for you guys.
Oh.
They have you ever had something just great happen without working? Has anybody?
No, I think more times than not, it's gonna be backwards. You're gonna work your ass off. And you're not gonna get anything.
And imagine what's going to happen to you as you're working your ass off and you're 40 years old and you have nothing to show for it. I'm not saying that's going to happen to you guys, but it happens. It happens to most people. So that's why I'm saying our possibilities viewpoint changes. And as we get older, things die inside of us. Our future dies first. The belief of something good died first. What do you do to wake it up?
Get around new people.
Get around new people. You get around people that are going this way. But the most important thing you can do, I believe, and I'm going to shut it down on this, is writing your goals down every single day, what you want to accomplish. That is the one thing that probably keeps me alive better than anything, are these goals that I write down. You need your future. You need to pump life into your future. But your future, you won't believe your future if you're not doing what you say you're going to do day after day after day after day. You could say my future's going to be X, but if every day I'm coming up short, sooner or later that spiritual agreement that we were talking about a minute ago, where you start saying, I'm not even worthy, there's no way this is going to happen to me, too much has happened for me to believe something like that, we lose hope in our future. When you're young, the reason why I'm telling you this is you young people out there, y'all ain't old like me and Van, I want you to pay attention to these things, because I don't want you to get so far along to where you're like, damn, I wish I could have done something about that. And I want you to take this message that I'm talking about today, and I want you to think about that today when you're doing things that you really don't want to do. Because the more you're willing to do today that you don't want to do, the easier it gets in the future. I wish instead of doing this, what I'm doing at 47, I wish this would have been done at 27. It could have been done for me at 27, by the way. I just didn't believe it. Didn't know it. So all these things are possibilities. But I want you to pay attention to the people that you talk to that are younger. They've got hope. They're going to do things. Pay attention to the older people. They're a little more negative. They get a little more negative. They start worrying about things. They get affected by things different. But you need to keep your spirit young. And the way you can do this is paying attention to what it is you want to accomplish. Write down your goals. Are you writing down your goals? I've been telling you to do this. Do you? Do you have goals? Who are the goals for?
That's me, my family.
Okay. Well, see, here's what's going on. You've got this spiritual agreement that you don't have a future, and you don't know that.
Yeah.
You don't even realize what's going on. Do you have goals you write down?
It's hard for each day.
Okay. Well, I want you to write down some goals. I want you to get out in front of Noah today and get into his future. What does that look like? And every day, well, you create it. You ain't got to know. Whenever I remember at 37, 38 years old, I wrote out Good Time Tommy. This is who I'm going to be. I wrote that dude out. And I wrote down his characteristics. What he's going to be like. And now I can go from me to that guy just in a second. I created him. And I know this is the voodoo stuff that we talk about. But to give yourself future hope, you need to write down these goals and you need to work on becoming that person. Do you want to have a future? That's the first. Hey, do you want to have a future? Do you?
Yes.
What kind do you want?
Yeah, I envision a big future for myself.
Do you really?
I do.
Well, until it's written down and you're paying attention to it, you don't believe it. You're not even really thinking about it. Van Grafton, shut us down. Have a great day. Happy birthday, Joe Rich.